Look around any public space today. You'll see a population hypnotized by screens, trapped in an endless loop of mindless consumption. The system is engineered to keep you distracted, financially sedated, and waiting for the next paycheck. I turned 57 recently, and looking back on the decades it took to build my wealth, one thing is clear. In a world fighting for your constant attention, the ability to focus deeply for long periods is the ultimate modern competitive advantage. If you can lock in while everyone else scrolls, you automatically move ahead of your rivals. To break free from this cycle, you have to invert your behavior. You have to put more value out into the world than you take in. You must become a producer rather than a consumer. Because if you don't fiercely protect your attention and build your own dream, the system will gladly hire you to build someone else's. Society sells you a very specific, comfortable script. Accept an average salary, work the 9 to 5, and if you're lucky, take a trip away once a year. They package this routine as safe. The math on that path guarantees an average outcome. If you want wealth, the strategy is simple. Observe what the majority of people are doing, and then have the courage to do the opposite. This will create immediate friction. People will call you weird or even greedy for wanting more. You have to abandon the need to be liked by everyone and ignore the critics who are too scared to leave their own comfort zones. Blending in is a recipe for staying broke. Achieving financial freedom requires you to step so far outside the norm that your work ethic and choices. Most people are terrified of looking foolish, but making mistakes is the primary engine for rapid skill acquisition. I learned this skiing with my son. He fell far more often than I did, but by pushing his limits and getting right back up, he quickly became a much faster skier. When facing a reversible decision, your biggest risk is dragging your feet. Make these choices quickly and iterate. But for irreversible choices, the strategy flips. Slow down, gather intelligence, and ensure the timing is right before committing. Failure provides the raw data you need to constantly calibrate your path and move past the average. Every single person has an unfair advantage. These are the specific life circumstances, perceived weaknesses, or obsessive hobbies that set you apart. For example, my dyslexia forced me to learn how to solve problems quickly, and my obsession with model airplanes directly sparked my first business. When you combine two seemingly unrelated skills, you bypass the competition entirely. Steve Jobs mixed his deep love for calligraphy and design with computer engineering to build Apple. He created a category of one. Hard work alone isn't enough anymore. As new technology rolls over the economy, you either embrace it or get crushed by it. Choosing to reject these tools guarantees you will be left behind. When you apply smart leverage, like using AI to build an e-commerce platform, the time and physical labor required drops to near zero, while your ability to reach a global market rockets upward. Your income is no longer tied to physical hours. Leverage scales a unique game only you are equipped to play, separating your output from the number of hours you spend in a cubicle. As you scale, you have to recognize your most finite resources. Advertisers love to offer things for free, but if something isn't costing you money, it is actively draining your time. And time is the one asset you can never buy back. That same logic applies to your physical health. Spending a decade hunched over a keyboard will severely impact your productivity in your 30s. You can replace a car, a house, or even your teeth, but you only get one spine. Prioritizing your posture early on pays long-term dividends. Once you actually reach the finish line, you'll find the dopamine hit of hitting a big financial target fades incredibly fast. Often, achieving a huge goal leaves you feeling a bit empty, asking yourself what comes next. The ups and downs of the journey are what actually stay with you. Having millions in the bank means nothing if your physical engine is destroyed and your time is gone. Health is the prerequisite for enjoying wealth. Beyond your health, your highest yielding assets are the people around you. Who you know matters 1,000 times more than what you know. A highly skilled network will beat raw knowledge or cash in the bank every single time. This principle extends to your personal life. My wife's support was a direct requirement for my success. Without a partner who aligns with your vision and shares your ambition, the friction of daily life will eventually drain your focus. Choosing who you build a life with is a strategic decision that determines your trajectory. This animation illustrates how a strong inner circle multiplies your output. When you connect with friends who are actively chasing success in the trenches right next to you, their motivation feeds your own, compounding your growth far faster than working alone. If you're in your 20s right now, the window to take decisive action is closing faster than you think. You have the energy and the runway to take risks, but only if you start today. Reject the societal defaults. Treat your focus, your failures, and your relationships as your highest yielding investments. If you put in the effort now, you can engineer an asymmetric life of financial freedom.